think there was one question there, and there's one at the back. I'll hit the one up here and then back there next.
It appeared to me that it was set up so that if New Brunswick, by some amazing thing, discovered a new source of power, let's say they bore into the core of the earth, and they're able to make steam, and we're all heating our homes with steam. That's a possibility. But it looked like that was not allowed. Like we're not going to ever be able to use any other form of electricity, according to that.
The way I understand it is that New Brunswick will have an obligation to purchase 14 terawatt-hour of power on a yearly basis until perpetuity.
That's extremely frightening. Because we don't know where the energy source is.
So hopefully there's going to be some, well, now there's various issues. The 14 terawatt-hour is roughly the consumption of power about 3 years ago in New Brunswick at the low economic times. Okay? Now there's two things that can happen. That the consumption can go higher or be lower. Okay? It could go higher if there's more economic activity, if we attract more industry, etc. So there's going to be the need for new power. There could also be a new form of utilization of power that would be, for example, in the transportation sector, with technology and increased demand of power because of new usage of electricity. On the other hand, there could be a reduction, notably because of energy efficiency. So how it's going to behave, it's difficult to judge, okay? At least on the short term.
But New Brunswick would not be allowed to have a power company.
Well, if the consumption is lower, hopefully there's going to be some clause so that there's no penalty for New Brunswick for not purchasing the 14 terawatt hours. That's the first thing. And then if it's above 14 terawatt hour of power, then the power will be supplied through market competition. So there could be an industry here in New Brunswick. Now this being said, the generation of power is the most profitable company of FNB Power right now. That's the company that makes the most money. The Energy Agency of Canada is projecting growth in the generation of electricity, notably because of new forms of usage of power. So by having a long-term power purchase agreement with Hydro-Quebec, or what corresponds to a long-term power purchase agreement with Hydro-Quebec for the 14 terawatt-hour, removes us all possibility of generating our own power. There's a figure in the report of the government panel, figure number 5, that shows the number of jobs created as a function of the type of generation, including energy efficiency. And they indicate that the jobs created in a jurisdiction when you import power, the number of jobs created is 0. So a big chunk of our power, and right now essentially all of our power, not all because they'll have to maintain the dams and local operating, but essentially we're in a dynamic where we're importing power which has less impact on job creation. And limiting our capacity in terms of the growth that we can have because we're already committed at perpetuity with this fixed amount of power.
Right, and there's the back of the room, and then I've got 2 over here that all hit.
Just like it always.
Can you stand up just because the volume up here is lower?
People living in Brunswick, is there a legal option that we can stop this, or is it just more numbers?
There's 3 legal challenges that we're pursuing and know that are being pursued by another partner of the coalition. And the fact of the matter is that the courts interpret the laws. Our first claim is that right now the government has neither the moral nor the legislative mandate to sell FNB Power. But I don't think the moral mandate is a big deal. They don't care. The legislative mandate they can fix by changing legislation. But we do have the claim that has been filed. When you sue the government, proceedings against the Crown Act, the Crown gets a 60-day grace period before you can actually take your action against them. I can only imagine, I watch enough TV to realize what happens in that 60-day period, you know, in terms of getting ready to be sued. We do have that action, and that is requesting that because they don't have the legislative mandate, that the deal has to be stopped immediately. That won't get to court until March 25th.
Wow.
We had 9, as I referred to, 9 right to information letters making a request for information. Very broad request. All documents, memos, emails concerning the deal. And 3 of those, they all received responses, all non-compliant responses. 3 will be filed in the Court of Queen's Bench here in St. John by the end of the week. And that is an immediate reaction. The court, if they agree, if the judge agrees, he will set a hearing within 2 weeks for them to bring forth the information or answer to the claim that they're. So that doesn't stop the deal. What they do, these 2 exercises, are to put pressure, and is to raise the population's appreciation that the lengths that have to be taken in order to get information about a deal that's going to affect our future now and, you know, as Bud Lightyear would say, to infinity and beyond. You know, and it is a sad testimony here in the province. But we're up against, you know, a significant agenda. And I was reminded when Andrew made reference to Section 11 of the North America Free Trade Agreement. We used to think that the acronym was not another freaking trade agreement. When manufacturers, when manufacturing was exiting Canada and leaving Southern Ontario, they lost over 500,000 manufacturing jobs in a 3-year period in the early 90s. And I remember a CEO coming on from, I think it was Tractors and Equipment, who was shutting down a huge plant in St. Thomas, Ontario. And what he said was to the media, you know, get over it. This is about profit. And profit doesn't have a conscience. Profit doesn't recognize government. Profit doesn't recognize the boundaries between provinces and states and countries.
The profit is stolen in Quebec right now, it's a terrible suit, right? New Brunswick doesn't get a profit.
Yeah, and it truly doesn't have a conscience. So, you know, the legal activities, the legal actions are to draw attention, to try and put some speed bumps in place for the government to answer the questions that all New Brunswickers are asking, and pardon me, and to put the detailed information before New Brunswickers so an informed decision can be made by the shareholders.